G'day guys, it's Beanz here. Just doing the drive home from Carindale to Redcliffe. It's Monday the 14th of February, Valentine's Day for you lovers. Thought it was a good opportunity to come on and we'll have a bit of a chatter about what travel is going to look like post-COVID as we reach the middle to end of 2022. Anyone that's watched my channel, watched my streams, knows that there's going to be some travel coming my way. Locked and loaded, middle of May. But what's that going to look like? We know about the Thailand pass, the test and go. But is it going to be cheaper? Is it going to be dearer? I've been doing some research, and I think in the early stages, post-COVID, I actually believe it's going to be a little bit cheaper. And no better example than my flights. Brisbane, Bangkok return, under $1,000. Flying Singapore. Now, if you go back to 2015, the only way you're getting from Queensland to Thailand for under $1,000 was if you flew Scoot or AirAsia, the low-cost airlines. So straight away, that's a big tick. Originally I was going in April, and I was looking at Agoda, and I looked at my Phuket leg. I was Airbnb-ing, but I looked at a hotel where I would normally pay $800-900 Australian for 11 nights, and it was actually called the Master. It's very, very popular. It's near the famous Christian massage, and even it was $400 for 11 nights. And it's actually one you can do test and go at. It's part of SHA++. So already the signs are promising that it's going to be cheap. It's just going to be a waiting game to see what's going to open up. Cambodia's open. The Philippines, if not open yet, it's about to open. As these countries open up, and if they open up without restrictions or with maybe a modified version of test and go, I think we're going to see some really good opportunities to travel this year. So with my plans, I'm booked from the middle of May to the back end of September, back in time for the footy finals, or the back end of the footy finals. And my plan is, I have no plan. I'm going to do, what I do know is the first month will be in Thailand. I want to go back and see my friends in Phuket. I want to see more of Bangkok. I want to go to Chiang Mai like I was supposed to in 2020. And I might even a couple of days in Pattaya. For me, Pattaya, a couple of days, and that's all I need. So that's the plan there. From there, it's an open book. I'm putting money away. I'm buying myself every week gift vouchers for Airbnb and redeeming them. I've currently got about 500 in Airbnb credit, hoping to probably triple that, to have at least 1,500 before I go. That's Australian dollar. Because doing my research, Gangnam in South Korea is Seoul's going to be one of the places I go to. I can get a full unit for 7 days for 250 Australian. Fully self-contained studio unit in the center of where everything happens in Seoul. You know, and I'll be straight, I've never really been an Airbnb person. I've done it a couple of times with my mate Zuda Travel. You should check his channel out, it's pretty good. But I've always done hotels. But I think there's some value, and the thing that really resonates with me is that I could potentially be away for 6 months. Now, that's a long time to be living out of hotel rooms, and I like the idea of having a unit, having that little bit of my space, and just, you know, being able to jump on, edit videos, you know, even cook my own meals. Because let's be honest about it. It's not like a three-week holiday or a month holiday where you drink what you want, you eat, you know. There's going to have to be some discipline involved, you know, and discipline at times isn't my forte, but if I plan and structure it, it will be. We're just coming up to Cannon Hill, really nice part of Brisbane. I used to work at Cannon Hill, quiet little Cannon Hill shopping centre. What I will say about it, it's a quiet shopping centre, but it's a great perv. Lots of eye candy there. But yeah, back on the subject, I think I don't think you can do 6 months living out of a suitcase in hotels. So a lot of the vloggers that I watch that have done similar stuff, like Cara and Nate are a couple in America that they visited 100 countries, and they do Airbnbs. The bargains in Airbnbs is, I guess, as well, which is something that I'm attracted to. The other part I'm looking at in my planning stage is I've got a couple of away from YouTube. Obviously, YouTube, I'm not going to shy away from it. I'm looking to monetize at the moment. I've got the watch hours, I've got the subscribers, but this is the plan. Like, it's at the moment, I'm going to be going home in September. But if I can stretch my dollar out, my savings, and I've got a couple of revenue streams that I'm looking at away from YouTube, that it may stretch out to Christmas, depending on what I do. So I'm definitely looking at that. I am a pretty creative person. I just don't always follow through on the stuff the thoughts and that kind of stuff. So I've been doing a lot of research, looking at ways that I can prolong my stay for as long as possible, because I've got a list, and I've got a list of places that are locked. Okay, the countries that I will definitely go to. We're talking Thailand, we're talking Cambodia, Vietnam, Taiwan, and South Korea. They're the countries that I will see, and the places I will go to. Then I've got a few the maybes. Places like Malaysia, Singapore would be a very short visit, just for the expense. Philippines, I probably said that, and even Japan. I definitely have I'd like to do a night or two in a capsule hotel. So the more I can stretch my money out, the longer I can stay, the more I can see. And I guess the other thing, being a long trip, I'm not going to fly everywhere. I've got credits with AirAsia, but there's no real need for me to fly. I can do, an example, the first class bus from Chiang Mai to Bangkok, it's peanuts. And you also save a night's accommodation. So wherever I can do that, I'm going to stretch it out. That my biggest concern about the trip and the start of the trip is 11 nights in Phuket. I love it. It's great fun. It's expensive, and I know that I'll spend money there. So that's where I'm going to have to be really disciplined, because I could really smash into my savings. Like, I'll say it, I go to the Kangaroo Bar, and it's not a place, it's not a Monga bar. You don't bar find people there, but I go there and I know the guys there I've known them for 10 years, and it's really easy to drop 5,000 or 6,000 baht just by buying the staff drinks. And we're talking, we're not just talking female staff, there's blokes that work there too that I've known for a long while, and you'll do a round or you'll buy a drink, and so that concerns me with Phuket. And again, that's where I'm going to have to be super disciplined, and looking at the creative aspect I'm talking about. I'm looking at the potential of I'm not going to be a blogger, because man, that'd be like doing a school assignment every fucking day. Not going to do it. But taking photos, which will lead to my other revenue stream, which I don't want to talk about at the moment. I'm not going to provide content for photo stock places. It's going to be more, something a little bit more techie, but taking photos, maybe write an ebook. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking at doing. Do the photo books as well. that's going to also, it's going to do a couple things, right? It's going to document this trip, and this is probably a once in a lifetime trip. It's kind of like having half a gap year at 46, and then it's going to keep me busy, because again, it's not sustainable for anyone, let alone a 46-year-old male, if that bloke with a beard, which is me, to spend 6 months away getting on the drink every night. You know, and there's more to a trip than that. You know, I want to go off the tourist path. I want to interact with locals, and I've got a list. I've been working on this, and it's part of the excitement as you build up to a trip. I've been working on some concepts, some original stuff for my YouTube channel, some stuff that, well, I think hasn't been done before. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun getting organised at the moment. Not so much fun working. Had my first day off yesterday in over a month. Had my first couple of beers yesterday in over a month, and I needed to recharge the batteries. But I feel good today. I've gone from one job, going to be doing another job a bit later. But I have to. I've got to put the work. The sacrifice now is putting the work in, earning the money, and it's all going to be worthwhile when I jump on that plane. So that's that stage. That's what I'm looking to do. Definitely I'm going to be looking to meet up with some people from YouTube. Spoken to a few people about doing that. We're just coming up. I'll just cut in for a minute. We're about to cross the Brisbane River on the Gateway Bridge. It's quite a high bridge. It was built in the mid-80s, and then they had to duplicate it. In the mid-80s when they built it, there were no, like, it's got pretty high, I guess you'd call it, fence. In the 80s when it was built, it didn't have that, and people were driving up, getting out of their cars, and I guess you could call it, if it was in Pattaya, you'd call it the Pattaya Flying Club. They were joining the Gateway Flying Club. So it's very much fenced off now. A lot of security just to stop people from, I guess, ending it all up here. So this is it. This is the Gateway Bridge. Almost $5 a pop. So $10 a day if you go over it. They don't miss you. So let's give you a quick. I can't touch the phone because I'm driving, and it's a $1,000 fine in Brisbane. But it would have been nice to actually be able to show you the side. You get a really good view of the city as we head towards one of my favourite places in the city, the airport, because that's where it all starts for me on a trip. You know, check in, go through customs, whack up to the bar, get a pint, something to eat, and the holiday begins. But I don't know, I'd be keen for some feedback on this. I was just going to be driving home, and I thought, well, why not put the phone on, have a chat, start the conversation. It's easier than a live stream. You're getting my thoughts, my raw thoughts, my PG raw thoughts, and it's just having a chat. Want to do more of this. You know, I live in a great city. Show you a bit of that. Tell you what's going on in my head, what I'm doing. Going down to the Gold Coast in a couple of weeks, so I'll give you a bit of a squiz of where Beanz grew up. Going down there for my birthday. Bit of a weekend on the source with one of my real good mates. But yeah, it's exciting times. I think we're on the precipice of this being over, this whole pandemic and the way it's taken away from how we can travel. And, you know, I'm looking at videos, people were saying, you know, Patong would never be the same. They're saying Pattaya would never be the same, and slowly but surely the world's reopening. Like, I look around where I am and people are out and about. You know, we've been really lucky in Australia, Brisbane especially. COVID, it's affected us. We've been locked down at times and we've had restrictions, but you know, we haven't really suffered. You know, the death rate's low. The infection rate's been low, and for us here in Brisbane, in Queensland, it didn't really start smashing us until we were 90% double dosed. Vaccinated. So it hasn't really. We've dodged a bullet. So as of next week, people can fly in. Tourists can fly into Australia as of next week. I think it's the 21st. Today, the first flight flew back in the Gold Coast, scoot from Singapore. So we're opening up. I'm excited to see. The reason I put my trip back from April is that I didn't want to just see Thailand. And around when the Omicron strain started, even Thailand closed for a bit. Unless you quarantine them. Even 6 months, 5 months, you don't want to waste it with 14 days quarantine. So I think I'm looking forward to I jump on the internet every day and have a look, see where he's opening up. I know Vietnam, they're talking about opening up. And that's something that I'm going to do. I've been to Ho Chi Minh. I spent a week there in 2017. I'm actually going to look at going from north to south when I go there. And whether that's straight after Thailand or not, I'm not sure. I may go to Cambodia. I may go straight to South Korea. But I think that's, for me, that's going to be half the fun. Having that freedom to go, where am I going today? And if I like a place and it's cheap, like Vietnam is incredibly cheap. We're talking full studio apartments for a week for under $100 Australian. So if I might like it, I might stay there for a bit. My money might go a bit further. Before I know it, I might actually, September might roll into October. You just don't know. But not sure. I would like people to put in the comments. I might do, one of these a week. I'll do different drives. I won't bore you with the same drive. We're coming up about 10 minutes away from Redcliffe. This is probably where we're coming up to now. On the Gateway motorway is probably, when it's bad, the most congested part of the road. I wouldn't mind $1 for every minute I've sat here, especially back in the Cashies days when I'd commute home. But being a Monday, being that it's 4 p.m. local time, it's not bad, gotta say. As we come up, usually we're coming up to Nudgee to Deegan is the shit spot. Sometimes it's a car park. So far so good. You can see it's a pretty average day in Brisbane today. It's a nice 24 degrees, but it's cloudy as fuck. But yeah, I reckon that's about all I really wanted to start the discussion today. I might even follow this up with a live stream. As I said, I spoke too early. The sign says queue ahead, speed limit. So I might end this before I do end up in the car park. But yeah, guys, look, thanks for the people that watched the whole 18 minutes. You good eggs. Until next time, this is Beanz out. Keep it real.